Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the 802 Iracing Leagues podcast. I am one of your hosts, Rob Lowell, and joining me as always is my co-host Brandon Garrand. Brandon, how you doing this Friday night of April 3rd?
We're not doing too bad. Just got back from the movies with the kiddos. Yeah, that's why we're a little delayed. I'd have made it on time. I went to the 4:30 showing, thinking I was like, oh, hour and a half movie. That gives me plenty of time. No, we had about 40 minutes of previews before this movie even started. So that
Uh-oh.
that never. I go to the movies every now and then, and I went to a different theater today, and yeah, usually it's about 10 minutes for previews, but no, they just kept going and going. My oldest looked at me and goes, "What's taking so long?" I'm like, "Buddy, I don't even know actually." So we made it through, and yeah, they enjoyed the movie, and we're here a little late, but we're off and running.
Yeah, we got a jam-packed show. It's the last week. We'll recap the G.Stone Motors 58 Dirt Series. They had their season-ending 100-lap race at Oswego this past week. Then we'll roll into I think the way it's working out now, we're going to do the dirt series. Then at 7:30, we'll be joined by our guest tonight. First time career winner on the AO2 Cup Winston Cup Series. Nick Larson is joining us, fresh off his win at Gateway on Sunday night. So it'll be good to get Nick in, talk to him. Um, there was no ARCA race last week. We had a little bit of a fun race at Thompson Speedway just for something to do, but there was no actual series race last week. And then we'll end the night talking about the 802 Busch Series at Gateway. So we got about 13 minutes before Nick joins us. What do you say, Brandon? We jump right into the G.Stone Motors 58 Modified Series. And one last time, we'll go through the night event, which was championship night this week.
Yep,
And I will let you
championship
take it
night.
over.
Yeah, so championship night, Leon Gagno Memorial 100. Yeah, it was a great show. We had Chad Lackey get the he got the quick time award, and he was putting the pressure on Trevor by getting that 5 bonus points there. And I mean, while we talked last week, it was pretty much locked up in a way. It still put some pressure on. We had guys show up to where there was a B main, so Trevor did have to qualify and all that stuff. But yeah, Chad getting the 5 bonus points there really starts his night off and puts a little pressure on. And with the first heat, he ends up in that first heat, and he worked his way up. Chad got into his qualifying spot. He got to second, so he qualified, and Mike Brewer ended up winning that first heat, and that would set him up to take the green from the lead or the pole position. In the second heat, it was Matt Barber who second in time trials would come through. He just as Dean said last week. I mean, he gave us three names. He said Chad Lackey, Matt Barber, and Clay Christopherson. And Matt showed why in this heat race he was one of those three names, just from fourth all the way up to the lead, and just it didn't take him long to get there either. And then the third heat, it was Dean himself. Dean came away with the win. He hit the invert perfectly and held his spot, and it wasn't without pressure from behind as Trevor, after seeing what Chad did, he knew he had to qualify through, and Trevor constantly pressured Dean this whole heat race, and Trevor came away with a second place in that, so he transferred over, and then from that he just needed to finish I think it was 18th or no 16th because Chad ended up getting those 5 points, so it was just a 16th place finish once we would get through to the feature. But in the B main, we had one car go home, and what in that B main was Anthony Roselli. So they all transferred over to the 100 lap feature, which none of the three guys that won the heat races, none of them took the back row challenge, which was Dean, Brewer, and Barber. None of them took the challenge. So everybody lined up where they qualified through, and yeah, after it was all said and done, 100 laps, which the first 60 we went green, which me and Dean were in the chat going, I don't know how we're gonna make it 100 laps if we. It was looking like we were gonna go green the whole race. But a lot of good racing. We ended up with only, I believe, 3 or 4 cautions. And yeah, like I said, Chad Lackey was the one that come out on top. But for the first, I would say probably that first whole run, it was Matt Barber who led the race. And yeah, once the field got tightened back up, Chad got his chance, and it was real racy. It wasn't like in a way Dean had predicted, where it does get really bottom, which is why he ended up saying those 3 drivers' names. The track was really two groove all night. You could hit the top really good, slide her up into there. You could rip the bottom real good. So it was just a real racy track from front to back. And yeah, as Dean had predicted, the guy who finishes third is Blake Christopherson. So Dean Dean called the podium, and they were out on the field. Chad won it by 2 tenths over Barber, and Clay was 3 tenths right behind him. And then after that, it's over 2 seconds back to Brewer. So Mike Brewer, yeah, as I mentioned there, Mike Brewer finishes fourth. Trevor Giroux finishes fifth, which locks up his championship. Anthony Orzelli finishes sixth. Dean Reynolds seventh. Shane Billings eighth. Rylan Banks ninth, and Ryan Lawson rounds out the top 10. And Clay Christopherson came from 22nd to finish third. So he also got that hard charger award there. And yeah, Trevor Drew caps off. I mean, he didn't get the win tonight, but did what he needed to do and caps off a hell of a season with a championship for himself. So
Yeah, and
congrats to Trevor.
I have his
Congrats to Chad.
his championship card up that you made.
Yep.
If you want to talk through that real quick while I bring up the
Uh,
overall point
yeah.
standings.
Let me see. I don't even have that card. I know it's 6 wins. I believe it was
6 wins,
just
229,000 points, 9 podiums, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 2 poles. So
yeah, and that's out of 15 races. So Trevor only finished outside the top 10 ones, and that's finished in the top 5 that much. I mean, just the model of consistency all season. And I think actually the one race he didn't get a top 10. He didn't qualify for at Eldora. I believe he did have one that he did not qualify. So yeah, just a great season for him and a well earned championship.
okay, and let's run through the top 10 points. I have it up on the screen. Do you have it in front of you, Brandon, or you want me to run through them?
Yep. I got the top 10 in
Okay.
points right here. So we got, like I said, Trevor Drew. He locks up the championship. Chad Lackey ends up second. Matt Barber finishes third in the points. So they all lock up their trophies, and it's a sweep of the podium for the Canadian guys. And then right behind them, we have actually a tie for fourth place, but Anthony Roselli gets it because the wins. So as Anthony Roselli, defending champ Sam Bachman finishes tied for fourth. Dean Reynolds gets sixth. Tyler Nauf gets seventh. Rylan Banks gets eighth. Clay Christopherson with his last run jumps up two spots. He finishes ninth, and Shane Billings finishes 10th.
I would have lost a lot of money to begin the season if someone had offered to bet me that Sam Bachman would get skunked on the season with wins.
Yeah, no
After the
wins.
season he had,
Very.
after the season he had last year, I think it was 7 wins, right? I want to say it was
He
seven
had
wins
he
last
had
year.
he had quite a bit last year.
I want to
We
say
can we can
7.
check that real quick. 5 wins. Five
Five
wins
wins.
for
Okay.
Sam last year. Yep.
And
But still, I mean, you look at his stats from last year, it basically mirrors what Trevor did this year. I mean, he had 5 wins, 7 podiums, 10 top 5s, and 14 top 10s. I mean,
so
kind of what kind of
it
gives you what you need to shoot for
it
to win
just
this series.
yeah it just shows you the competition in this series year in year out that we haven't had a repeat champion, right? No, we have not.
No, we have yet to
Um,
get a repeat champion. And I mean,
I
our
don't think
season
we've
one
even
champion.
yeah um just the level of competition these guys bring week in week out to this series is just mind boggling. And like I told him in the chat Wednesday that we're honored to have them represent the league and race with us, and they just do a great job. I mean, they started out at Oswego and go 60 some odd laps, 63 I believe, right? I think it was
Yep,
63.
63
Green
laps
flag.
green.
that's tough the way it narrows up off the corners there. So great job to them guys for doing that, and thanks for a great season. And we'll get to the summer, and then before we know it, November we'll be back here again. We'll be down in Charlotte, and then we go back to Charlotte. Race will start up again. So just want to say thanks to them guys on behalf of the Stone family and G.Stone Motors, and we'll have the series back next year.
Yeah, and not only that, like awesome to see everybody show up with some throwbacks and like special paint schemes to them. So yeah, overall it was a great last event, and honestly, going through that 100 lapper, I'm really excited with how we are gonna readjust this season schedule for next year with just like the 10 race season. Then once you guys go to Florida for Florida Speed Weeks, and then we're gonna do the 3 extra distance races after Florida. So I think it'll be a good new structure, and yeah, those extra distance races are a lot of fun because the tire management that's actually in a dirt race is pretty wild on iRacing because I burnt my right rear up. Like I was at like 16% left.
Wow.
And I think Dean and them were at like 25, 26. And yeah, it just shows what a little bit of tire conservation can do in them long distance races. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, we let's bring in last week's winner on the 802 Winston Cup Series, Nick Larson. We'll bring him in while we do the results, and then we'll get him a chat. So let me get him moved in here. Okay, joining us now is the driver of the race-driven Power Sports number 2. Um, he's from Wolfpack Racing. Um, Nick Larson. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad.
I would expect not after your coming off your first career win, and it was a pretty dominating performance too.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if it's really setting in, to be honest.
We were at
Yeah, I mean,
Worldwide.
go ahead.
We're at Worldwide Technology Raceway Park, right? I think that's the way how they say it. Everyone was at his gateway last Sunday night, and Nick, I believe, was the fastest car in practice, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
He was
Yeah,
because right at the
fastest
end of
car in
practice, I go, "Holy crap!" Nick just laid down like a 7.3 or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
because everybody was like, "Dang, I can't even get to an 8," and I'm like, "I can't." And then he goes out and lays a 7.3. I'm like, "Whoo, he messing around today."
Yeah, he was 32.733. Um, and then to qualifying, Nick goes out and lays down a 32.75, which I thought was the gold standard. And then our teammate, Steve Ritter, goes out and pulls one out of his fourth point of contact and knocks you off the pole, Nick.
Yeah, I thought for sure I'd be sitting on a pole too, but
Yeah,
he put down a heater.
He ruined your perfect night.
Yep.
What are teammates for, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll run through the top 5 real quick. Actually, we'll run through the whole race results, and then we'll jump into your interview next. So Nick Larson wins. Like I said, first career 802 Winston Cup Series win, and I believe 77 starts. Right? Is that the number? I believe that's the number I remember hearing. Um,
Yep.
Anthony Calatoni made a late charge, snuck by myself and Steve Ritter in the last 7-8 laps to take second. Steve Ritter finishes third. I finished fourth, and Grant Humphreys, in his second start, his second consecutive top 5. He finished fifth. So,
Yeah, and he started from the back too.
yep, I think Grant's going to be a factor as we go forward here. Safe to say.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yep, and real clean driver too. So Scott Simley was 6th, Jeff Polga was 7th, Joe Hudson was 8th, Johnny Barker was 9th, and Jim. Oh, sorry.
You're one up. You're
yeah,
one position
yeah,
off.
yeah. No,
You
I'm
skipped
looking at
Joe.
qualified. So,
Oh.
sorry. Joe Hudson finished 6th, Scott Simley finished 7th, Jim Ott finished 8th, Jeff Fogel finished 9th, and Nate Burker rounds out the top 10. I will let you run through the rest of the field, Brandon, if you have it up.
Yep, I got it up. 11th, Johnny Barker. 12th, John Holyfield. 13th, Frank Zingen. 14th, Brendan Hinton. 15th Tyler Waltz, 16th Dylan Hinton, 17th myself, 18th Arabia Caton, 19th Eli Raposa, 20th Jason Wiley, 21st Evan Fuca, 22nd Aiden Tatro, and 23rd, who did not make the start, Todd Parent.
So we no cautions at Gateway. Green and checkers. Um, Almost everyone chose to one pit it. Few guys did not. Jim, Jeff. Um, I guess maybe only the top 7 one stopped it then.
No, Jeff did a one stop.
Oh, Jeff did.
Hogan
Yes,
did a one-stop.
he was super
He
safe
just
fuel
did
at the end. Yes.
Yeah, he did a one stop, but
Yeah.
he pitted it early, and
Yep.
Jim burnt up his tires too much, so that's what kind of like
Led him to the
swapped
two-stop.
him over.
Yep. So, Nick, let's talk about how did your week of prep up to the race go? How like I know, but I'm gonna ask you anyways because we're on the podcast. Just take us through what your week looked like from the first time you got in the car at Gateway, during the week practicing to your journey to leading 95 of 120 laps and dominating it.
Yeah, so Sunday after the race, before the week before there, I was like, oh man, I don't even have Gateway. Like I've never purchased it, so I never raced there. So I bought it and I started practicing with the teammates, you, Johnny, whatnot, and I was pretty slow at first. I mean, I wasn't putting down heaters or not. I mean, it's pretty much all week. I was kind of behind you guys, falling back, a few seconds each run that we were doing. And then once I just started figuring out my braking points and my downshifting, I got faster by the end of the week. Then I didn't get on until, so I had Friday and Saturday. I had stuff going on, I believe, and then I just jumped in it on Sunday, and it felt great. So
yeah, I think it was.
And then,
I think you posted some times on Thursday. You posted your last stint. You did a long stint, like 50 laps, and you posted your tires. And I'm gonna go back and see. I think
because I mean, I was, because we were discussing it too. We're like, we should probably win if it goes green. So we're practicing them strategies.
Yeah.
Then we get to.
I'm looking here. I don't know how much we talked last week. Yeah. So my 50 lap averages, the last I posted was a 34.508, and your 50 lap average. Oh, that's not you. Where are you? This is when I knew we might be in trouble. You were 34.0. So over the I knew then that we were in trouble. You were half a second at the end faster than I was. Um, and I'd even gotten back at that point, compared it to earlier in the week when we were driving away from you, and my lap times had stayed consistent, and you had just gained like 8/10. Towards like the last 5 laps of the race, you were 8/10 faster than where you were. So I knew right then that was on the 28th, so I knew we were in trouble. It was gonna be a long day for us.
Yeah, this goes back to like when I first started iRacing. Like I was doing the off-road stuff, and like the guys were all just so much better than me, and so I just started practicing every single day. I put in hundreds of laps in. Then I was getting competitive with them or whatever, so I kind of took that, and like with this whole these playoffs here, I've been putting in as much time as possible, getting as many laps in as possible.
Yeah, I think of everyone on the team, you've probably been the most consistent on practicing nightly when you can. I mean, I've missed nights, Johnny's missed nights, Steve's missed nights, Eli misses nights, but you seem to always be. If we're not doing a team practice, you're putting up stuff yourself, going, "Hey, this is where I'm at right now. This is what I did." Um, you've kind of driven the rest of us to step our game up.
Yeah, I've felt like I've definitely gotten better over the season. I mean, I've had some bad luck early on, but I think that, and then I've also, self-inflicted stuff too. That all this practice is just kind of a lot of that's just going away, just because I'm getting more consistent.
Brandon, you there? Or we lose you? Uh-oh, his mic might have dropped again.
Oh,
Oh, he's lighting up. You there, Brandon? You're lighting up.
Am I working now?
There you are.
All right. Fucking. Yeah. So, Nick, talking about these self-inflicted things, I feel like, did you hit the wall on purpose then to give yourself a little bit of a challenge in this race from dominating, or like what? What was
yeah, no,
Because
that
at
was
one
definitely
point,
not.
yeah, like at one point I'm seeing him like, oh, he's up by 8-9 seconds. I'm like, and then eventually I parked it early because I blew a tire and I'm not a factor out there anyways. And I'm looking, I'm like, how's it down to 3 seconds? I'm like, look, and then I saw your car and I'm like, oh, he's got a little bit of right front damage. He must have clipped the wall a little bit, and yeah, that must have
Yeah.
gave you like some kind of feeling, being like, oh, no, everything's been going so perfect tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was, I mean, through a whole run, like I could drive it the same the whole run, and it just stuck. But
Yep.
I was trying. I think it was out of turn four. I was pushing just a little too hard, and I smacked that wall on it. And I've done it all week long in practice. I would hit the wall sometimes, but I would never get wheel damage or anything. Comes to the race, I hit it one time and I get wheel damage, and it's oh my god.
Now, what Nick's not telling you is he never said a word on the radio.
I was gonna say, I feel
had,
like Nick's like still calm, like not saying,
oh,
not
he
telling
didn't
anybody
say a
anything.
word, and like I had looked at one point, he's out 7 seconds, right? I didn't realize he was up to 9 at one point. Crap.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
was
knew he
up
drove
there,
away from me,
everybody.
and like I didn't even fight him when he got to me because he had 10 lap pressure tires. Because I had jumped him because I short pitted and a few laps, and all of a sudden I see him on my relative, which I hadn't seen him on my relative in 30 laps. It seemed like maybe longer than that, because there's always lap cars or Pogo or someone was between us, and all of a sudden he's on my relative, and I saw him on my relative. I didn't really pay any attention to the gap, and then I looked at the gap and it was like 3.5 seconds. And I think I said, "What the f, Nick? Do you have damage or something?" And he goes, "Yeah, I hit the wall. I got wheel damage." Well, let me tell you something. Steve's pushing me pretty good at that point, and I sit up a little straighter in the wheel and in the seat, and I'm like, "Oh well, maybe, maybe that's 5 more points from second to first, and I'm in a
Right.
huge point deficit." Um, but it stabilized right around 2.5 seconds, and I couldn't make any ground up, and Steve and I were gap between us was pretty stable, but um, Steve said Anthony's starting to catch us, and there's three of us, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna fight, and um, Steve fought Anthony a couple laps. He got by, and then by Steve, then he got to me, and um, probably Johnny and I should be going into this week tied, or I should only be 1 point behind him, I should say. Because Anthony would have got me for second, but I feel like I could have held off Steve. But at that point, I'm fighting more for Nick and to burn Anthony's time to catch him than I am even for my own position. So I fought Anthony pretty hard there and held him off 3, 4 laps, and then I got loose off of 2, and both Anthony and Steve got by me. But um, Nick's been on our team for I want to say what 3 seasons now, Nick, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think
Um,
yeah, I want to say three. Yeah,
and I've watched Nick grow as a driver and become a good friend and like I didn't care what happened. I wouldn't have cared if I had wrecked trying to hold it. I'm racing Anthony for position, so it's not wrong that I'm fighting him. It's not gonna lap down or something. Um, but I would have cared if I had wrecked out at that point. Just to buy Nick a few precious extra tenths of a second there. Because you did, Nick. You deserved to win that. You dominated, and we've all been there where you've raced all week and hit the wall, and never had any damage, and
yeah,
the iRacing gods decide this is your time to pay a penance and give you wheel damage on a hit that normally wouldn't give you anything. So, um,
yeah. When that happened, I was like, oh, go figure. I'd screw this up somehow because I knew I would. I mean, pretty much had it in the bag. I was like, oh no, come on.
um, Brandon, go ahead if you
Yeah,
got
I
anything.
mean, I got teammates out there, and I was rooting for you, Nick. I mean, I was like, and then looking after the race, like at one point we thought you had won, and then I looked and I was like, holy crap, he hasn't. Like, so yeah, it was well deserved win. And I mean, not only that, like this vaults you up, and you're like tied for the points lead, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I know, like
Like
I
come
wasn't even,
on.
yeah, I wasn't even thinking anything like that. I just wanted to win, and just yeah, and then after points, I was like, oh wow, okay,
So yeah, like saying that, like I'm not saying you didn't think you could win this championship before the playoffs started, but like
yeah, no,
look at
I
where you're at now. Like what are you feeling like? You
yeah,
must have some
no,
confidence. You're like, you know what? I'm in this.
yeah, I felt like it was definitely a long shot because I mean I don't remember what position I was 13th maybe coming into the whole playoff deal, and I mean I missed races, so I'm other than the drop weeks too. So I was like, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll give it a shot. I mean, I started getting more consistent and having decent finishes, and then found myself in the top 15. I was like, all right, well, here's a reset button. Let's reset and just fight for top 10. Well, got there. Now here we are. I get a win, and it's like, oh man, now I really got a chance. So
Yeah. So do you still have like that same like? You're still gonna approach races the same. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, when you start feeling that prize and you can see it within reach, and like you start trying too hard. Like, do
oh
you feel
yeah,
like you can keep that balance and just be like, you know what? I'm
yeah,
already kind of like past the threshold I wanted to get. Like everything else now is a bonus.
yeah. No, absolutely. Yep. I
Yeah.
mean, the for the longest time, I mean, like you guys said, it's been 77 starts, and I have not put it in victory lane, and I've been close, but yeah, I mean that was my main goal all season was at least get one win this year, and then it comes in the playoffs, so it's like can't get any better than that.
Yeah, I find it funny too. I was scrolling through like a general chat, and the week before Scott Simley had won, and you wrote a comment being like, "Wow, way to go, Scott! You got one before I did." And then how ironic is it? Like literally the
I
next
know,
week, like you get it, you get that win.
I
Like
know, it was so crazy. Yeah,
We got your victory lane photo up now, Nick, on the podcast here. So
is this the one with his RC car?
no,
No,
this is the actual. It's full scale.
I I like that picture. I like that
I had a
one.
rough time with Gemini that night.
It was a tough 48 hours there for the AI with Rob. But
Yes.
I saw him post that and I'm like, his car is just as wide as the start finish line. It's like a little RC car.
Uh, yeah, I didn't get to see that one.
Oh,
Uh, so let's run through the full. No, yeah, we ran through the full Ferrari. Let's go over
yep.
the playoff standings real quick. So Got that up now, Brandon. I'll let you walk through it.
Yep. So as we just said with Nick's on top of the points lead with Anthony Cantoni. They're both tied with 3,585. They're they're both sitting comfortably ish. I mean, you never know. We get 30 cars, so you get 30 cars at a race. It's not as comfortable as what it might seem, but as of right now, they are 16 above the cut line. Next in line is Jim Ott. He's 9 above the cut line. Jeff Pogo's 6 above the cut line. And then sitting on the cut line, Johnny Barker at 3,569 points. And now the drivers below the cut line, we got Rob, yourself there. You're 2 behind it. Frank Zingen, he's 3 behind. Joe Hudson's 4 behind. Steve Ritter, 8 behind. And Eli Raposa, 16 points back. So, like I said, I mean, Eli's on the total opposite as Nick. He's minus 16, but you get 30 cars there. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I almost jumped 3 guys in the first round, and I was sitting right around where Steve was. I think I was about 8 or 9 points back. So it can be done. Steve can do it. Eli's got a little bit more of a stretch because he's got to jump 4 guys and make up the 16. But I'd say Steve is not out of this as much as it might appear he is, being 8 back. I mean, because like we said, you get that win. That's 5 points more than second place. So
yeah,
it is not over for him, and yeah, should be exciting.
You know, Anthony and Nick can kind of breathe a little easy, but I don't know about that because look at me at Chicagoland. I went in there 20 up, right? Yeah, 20 up, points up, and I think I got in by 2 or 3 because I finished horrible. So,
well, that's what I mean. You got a track now where we're gonna probably get 25, 30 cars. I mean, we've been getting that at basically every track that's been over a mile and a half during the playoffs. Michigan, we got it. Like you said, Chicago, we got it. We got it the first race of this round. So, yeah, it can happen, and it's not fun being on that cut line. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot of pressure on yourself, Rob, and Steve, and Joe, and Frank. I mean, even it ain't comfortable for Johnny. I mean, he kind of knows what he has to do, but
yeah, well,
it's
Johnny's in a position where either me, Frank, or Joe go out and win the race, and
yeah, exactly. Johnny can finish second, and it don't matter.
And he's out. Yeah.
Right.
You know, if he even if he led a lap and got a point there, it would be and Joe won it and led a lap. You know, he's still out. So it's Joe. I mean, Johnny's still out. So um, I think I said it in our team chat earlier in the week. I said this race at Homestead it's a knife fight in a phone booth. And you guys under 25, 30 years old probably don't know what a phone booth is, but us old guys do.
Well, I know.
But it's I don't think if you're Jim Ott to the Steve and Eli, I think the only two people that are remotely comfortable are Nick and Anthony, and even they're not probably. At least I wouldn't be feeling comfortable because I know I had 20 at Chicagoland, and one mental mistake on my part almost took me out of the playoffs. So,
yeah, I'm by far not comfortable whatsoever. Not with that, anyways.
I was gonna say, Nick, I think he's trying to apply pressure to you here.
No, I'm not. I mean,
I'm feeling pretty comfortable in the car here at Homestead here, so.
Yeah,
I don't know, Nick. We had a pretty good practice. Pretty good practice 2 nights ago, and I mean, should we tell them that you and I went door to door for 50 laps, and there really was not a clear cut winner, and it was 50 hard laps.
Yep. So, yeah, that was fun. So I mean, if Sunday is anything like that, I mean, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I think traditionally, like, this is one of your better tracks. I mean, it just seems like it fits like your style of racing and all that. So
yeah, it should be. Yeah, I mean, this is another one too. Like, I thought I've raced here before, but I didn't even have a quick time on my all-time best tracker or whatever. So I'm like, did I ever run this track? So this could be another track where it's like,
So not to add any pressure to you guys, but looking up career stats at Homestead, and Johnny Barker has 5 starts there. His average finish is 5.6. Uh, the next closest playoff guy is Frank, and his is 8. Rob, yours is 8.2. So Johnny seems to he's got a little bit of traction here. Yeah, an average finish of 5.6 is pretty dang good. I would say Steve's average finish, but Steve's is a 2, but he's only had one start there, so. But just the consistency Johnny has seemed to show at this track.
Yeah, I can tell you that Steve is very good here. I've watched him in other leagues and race at Homestead. He's good here. My I know I'd have a better average finish here if I didn't get taken out in the massacre in the South Beach 125 that John Buell won. I think that was Frank's first season with us. Lamaga was leading it and there was a huge wreck on a green white checkered, and I think the top 10 except for John and maybe Frank got wiped out. Maybe before the race on Sunday I'll stream that on just for entertainment purposes. But um, a little bit I've run this week. I think this is the raciest I've ever seen Homestead as far as being able to run. Not just the top or bottom. There's actually a middle group that you can run pretty effectively. So
Middle's really good in 3 and 4. That's where I like it.
so
Top is I'm 1 and 2. I'm always top. I don't know why. It's just like a reflex. I can't get myself to ever run the bottom.
Nick, I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot. What's it? what what is your what is something that you really like about our team? Like the dynamics of it.
Oh, just you feel like you're racing with your best friends. Like you guys are just always willing to help. It doesn't matter. Like there's no secrets. Like if one of you guys or me or whoever on the team finds something that makes them faster, it's shared with the whole team. And all the practice and everything, it's yeah, the camaraderie is I mean, it feels like we've known each other forever. Like, so I'd say that's the best thing. That's why I love being on this team.
Yeah, and it's nice. Jeff, is active in our team Discord, even though he's
Yeah,
retired from racing. Dave is in and out. We get to race with Dave next week. He's coming back to race us next week. He's going to run one of the tribute paint schemes that we're doing next week for the 5 season champions. Eli wanted to run West Frank Norman's scheme and honor him, his longtime friend and former teammate. So Dave said, "Hey, you guys gonna be short a guy to run one of the cars?" So Dave said he's gonna dust off the sim and hop in next week and race with us. So it'd be pretty cool going to Land and having the whole active Wolfpack roster racing for I think only the second time this year. I think Dave raced one other time with us.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited for that.
What you got, Brandon?
Trying to think. Well, usually, since we're on with a regular old interview with Nick, I'm curious. Like one of the questions that most people always ask, like, what are you running on there, Nick? What's your sim setup? I mean, your whole team has gone sim magic here in the last month or so.
I,
Rob started at the beginning of the season, but have you been converted?
no, not yet.
Wait. Did I hear not yet?
I heard yet. I heard yet, but
Are the wheels turning, Nick? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. But I'm right now. I'm on a Moza R9 with the Fanatec V3 pedals. Um, I mean it's good, but from what Johnny and Steve and Rob have been saying about their stuff, it's like, oh man, make me spend money.
And what is funny is we all had the Fanatec V3 pedals. Um, Johnny still has them. You still have them. Steve and I are now on the Sim Magic P2000 hydraulics. Um, actually, I'm waiting to hear back from the guy to get the shipping cost. I just bought a used set of P2000 hydraulic pedals, gas and throttle, um, and I bought them just to have in stock in case one of my teammates wants to upgrade at some point. So,
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, "Oh, there's the wheels are turning now."
um, but yeah, um, it's
Nick,
your
you can technically
it's one of
blame
your
this for
team.
me because
No, you cannot
I
blame
pushed
me on
Rob.
this. You
No,
cannot.
I said Rob can blame me because Rob sent it to me way before the season. I said you might as well go all in.
That
I
is
might have
no
pushed him
lie.
first.
I bought the wheelbase and the wheel, and
Everything. He got the rig, the seat, all
yeah,
of it.
the only thing I hadn't bought was new pedals. And I said to Brandon,
Yes,
I
I said
go,
you might as well.
they're only $900. I think it was 900, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
only
something
nine
like
hundred
that.
dollars. And Brandon's like, I think you dared me or something. It was like, well, what's the matter?
No, I
What?
said well if you do it now then like everything's like the same age and you should be good for like maybe 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Until like
But
something new and great comes out in like 2 years and you're like, fuck.
2 years, Brandon.
Yeah.
I bought the 12 Newton meter Evo in November, end of October, and I bought the 28 Newton meter Evo Ultra in middle of March. It took like 3.5.
Well, that's because you got that little taste of like what it actually tasted like. Oh, you're like, oh man, I might as well go all in.
Yeah, and well, that and I blame it on iRacing Lounge podcast because those guys are always saying buy once, cry once, and they're saying that they talk so much about headroom and the fidelity. And what I'll tell you is like like Johnny went from a Moza 5 to the Evo 12, and it's a huge improvement for him. Um, I went from the 12 to the 28, and I think if you went from like a 5 to a 28 right off the bat, you'd be overwhelmed. Um, what I feel like just the amount of they call it headroom fidelity. Like I know I started on a Thrustmaster T3000, which is 4 Newton meters, and then I went to a Fanatec belt drive wheel that was 8, and you could like on the 8 I had you could feel the right front load, um, but you couldn't feel it build as much. And when I went to the 12, I could feel it build, and you could tell when it was getting to the point where it was building too much, it was going to start slipping. Um, and then going to the 28, you could feel it build a wider range. The right front builds, load, and then you can tell when it's going to shear it off because it's built too much load. It's just amazing, and you hear guys that you see guys in our chat in our league chat, and you hear on other forums they talk about, well, you only run it at you don't need a big Newton meter wheel because you only run it at 6 to 9 Newton meters, and you do. But what happens is if you run an 8 Newton meter wheel or a 9 Newton meter wheel at 6 or 7, as that load builds, it can only build so much, and then it starts clipping. You start losing detail. Where you can run a 12 or a 14 at that same number, and as it builds, it doesn't ever clip. It never goes in the yellow, never goes in the red, and you get all that extra detail that tells you what your car is doing. Um, and I think one of the things that our team learned this season is we were using the iRacing auto a lot. At least I was, and Johnny was, and Steve was, and by not using the auto as much or autoing it and then backing it down a little bit, you give yourself that headroom, that fidelity to feel what the car is doing more. And I'm not sure if you've been doing that too this season, Nick, or not, but
Yeah. Yep.
we did that, and it was a game changer, at least for me, and I can say it for Johnny too, and I know Steve's talked about it. Um, but yeah, Brandon is also Dustin Coggins' fault. I went to Sim Magic. He's the one that recommended it.
Yeah.
I was gonna buy Moza. So
Yeah, Dustin was the one that suggested the brand. I just was telling you go all in. Spend it. Spend it.
I've spent all I'm gonna. I'm done.
I'm gonna start browsing the iRacing boards just so I can find something that's new and innovative, and I gotta be like, Rob, look at this fucking thing.
Well, Nick, I will say Nick cost me $200 this week.
My bad.
Didn't you, Nick?
Yep. Oh, at first I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Oh.
Do you know how he
seems too expensive.
do you know how he cost me $200, Brandon?
I don't know. I don't know the story, so we gotta hear it. We gotta hear the story.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, let's hear. I want to hear Nick's side first. Yeah, let's hear it from Nick's perspective.
I mean, I was just explaining to Brett in my interview how I could feel my tires breaking, my rear tires breaking loose with my throttle. So it's kind of up my game a little bit with tire saving and whatnot.
With haptics.
So then, yeah, and so then Rob, I don't know what day was that, Monday.
It was Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning.
Come on, right after you listen to your interview.
Yeah, so Monday morning he texts me. He's like, "You cost me $200." I was like, "What? What did I do?" Then he explains, "Oh yeah,
during these races."
Yeah, right. That's what I was. I was like, "What?"
So I got him. I got the two Sim Magic haptic reactors on last night. One of my break on my throttle, and I actually I didn't test them last night. I just got them installed and hooked up and set up in Sim Hub, and I ran tonight, and it's wow, it's impressive. Like the minute I get any rear wheel slip, so whether it's wheel spin or wheel slip,
Yep.
I can feel it instantly in the throttle pedal, and like I feel it before I feel it in the wheel. So yeah.
Yep.
So Nick, that's one thing I love about our team is our team when one figures it out, shares it, and um, we just work really well together. Now what Nick's not telling you is he also had a lot of time to practice over the last couple of weeks because he's been snowed in 3 feet of snow. So
that was the joke I made after the race. I said, "Was Nick snowed in all week? Because he come out here and whipped everybody's butt. Like he been on this thing all week. Ain't got nothing else to do." He said, "I'll just practice all week."
Yeah, 8 hours a day.
This is my job now.
And I wouldn't say even this is the best track you've had in the playoffs, Nick. Chicagoland, you were.
Yeah, I felt pretty good there.
You were better than any of us on our team at Chicagoland all week, and I think you had a not a great qualifying run for some reason. I can't remember why, but you got buried in traffic, and I feel like that first run you kind of burnt your right front up trying to get to the field, and
what I got a speeding penalty.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, mistakes like that is what, took care of earlier in the season. I'm like, come on, I did this again.
At Dover, you drove up to right behind me, and then you and Johnny had a contest on who could knock down the pit road barrel harder.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah. He ended up getting a penalty on that one. I got it wound up enough, but.
Well, let's be honest. Johnny's penalty did not matter because he'd ripped the right front off it.
That is true.
If anyone's had a rough season, it's been Mr. Barker.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, the luck. The lack of luck, or the bad luck, I should say. Oh my God.
And it continued when I sold him the wheelbase. So we got time for this story. So I get my wheelbase, I get it mounted, I want to make sure it works, and then the next day I'm gonna send the one that Johnny bought from my 12mm. I was gonna send out the next day. So I ship on a Friday, and it says it's gonna be at Johnny's on Thursday, the following Thursday. Send it UPS. So we're watching it all week, and it gets loaded on the truck at like 5 a.m. and It's loaded on the truck, but never leaves the warehouse. And it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's still saying loaded on truck, waiting to head out for delivery. And I text our team chat. I'm like, I think the son of a bitch called in sick today, Johnny. You ain't getting that thing today. And it never left the warehouse, and all of a sudden it's marked as delivered. And it says left at security gate. So I text Johnny and I go, "Do you have a security gate at your house?" And all I get back is one word, "No." So Johnny calls his wife and he's like, "Hey, is my package there?" And she said, "No, there's no package here for you." And he thought she was pulling his leg until he got home and his wheelbase wasn't there and it says delivered.
Oh,
So now he's calling me, he's texting me, I'm texting him, I'm showing him there's a picture of where they left it, and Johnny's trying to ID the gate and what's around it. He thinks it might be his neighbor. He's not sure. He goes up to the neighbor, and it's the same gate, but there's no box there, and they left the box right next to the road. And long story short, the neighbor's kid had picked it up and taken it into their house. But even getting Johnny's wheelbase, it was just a disaster. It got sent to the wrong house and left by the main road in the county, and Johnny just hasn't had a good season.
no, and he's still finding himself right there.
Yeah,
That just proves,
Battling.
yeah.
he should be safe, more safe than he is right now. Last week at Gateway, I'm in front of him. I touched the wall off too, jerked the wheel back. He's behind me, and he sees me jerk the wheel. I'll get off the wall, and he jerks the wheel, and it spins him down on the wall, and he gets 2.5 minutes of damage. Um, then he blew a right front tire and had to pit. And he still ended up 11th, I think. So yeah, 11th.
Well, I mean,
First car lap down, so he soldiered on pretty damn good there.
the comfort thing. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna get comfort with like the playoff system. So that kind of, because if it was different, I think he'd be pretty comfortably top 5 in points. I mean, pretty solidified. But like, because I'm looking at just like and right now he's second. He's completed the second most amount of laps. Eli actually completed the most laps out of anybody in the series. So, yeah, Eli's completed the most laps, and that's pretty impressive actually. Just to think of like,
Yeah.
being out there and like that shows why Eli's still in. Like, yeah, he's far back. He's 16 back, but like that just shows why he's still in the playoff hunt right now. I mean, he's completing those laps, and like. Arabia's top 5 in this category. That shows why he was in the playoffs to begin with, and like he was battling at Chicagoland Chicagoland to get into the next round. So a lot of attrition. Johnny hasn't had the best luck, but he don't quit once the car gets wrecked. That's basically what I'm getting at. He gets back out there and he grinds them points, and that's why he's still in this hunt. He don't have, like, looking at his stats, he don't have Johnny Barker stats. Like, Johnny should have more than one podium. Like, to think of that, like, that just blows my mind. 4 top 5s, like, that's it. But he's grinded, and that's why he's still in a position to be top 5 and hopefully advance after this race on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's what Johnny is. He drives that 6 car because of Mark Martin, and he's a grinder.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yep.
So.
Okay, yeah. Nick, this is the point we'll do picks with you here, and you can do the guest pick, and you are allowed to pick yourself. So we'll let you do the first pick on who you think is going to win at Homestead.
After practice, I think you are.
I don't know about that. I always find a way to step on my wanker before it's over.
I mean, you or me, I think I'm close there too. I mean, after last week, I'm feeling pretty confident.
I like that.
Yeah.
Shot, Nick.
What's that?
I did it once. It didn't work out. I said, Nick, call your shot. I want to hear. I want you pointing to the fence like Babe Ruth. Like, yep, this is it.
I took a shot at calling it at Vegas and gave myself a speed penalty.
It didn't work out. It
I
don't
was
work out.
fast.
It
I
don't
was
work out for me
fast.
when I call myself.
I was fast. I just got a speed penalty.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like betting on myself because I usually, yeah, just like you, step on my fucking wanker.
Um, Brandon, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna pick my teammate, but I'm not gonna do that because I just don't want to jinx him. So I'm gonna go outside the box. I'm gonna go somebody that's not in the playoffs. No, I'm not picking myself. If he, I hope he shows up because if he doesn't, then it's gonna be a wasted pick. Actually, you know what? I know somebody who's been there the last 3 weeks. That I'm gonna pick Scott Simley. Scott's gonna
Okay.
back it up from what he did. Yeah, with the possibility of some fuel strategy and just seeing like the speed he kept while saving fuel at Vegas, I think he could be up. I think he could be up there. So yeah, let's go with the 33. I was gonna pick Kelly, but he ain't been there in a couple weeks, so didn't want to risk not having a car
I
on
think
track.
Mike will be here this week.
I think he will be too, but I was just like, I'd rather at least make sure that I have. And Scott, I know Scott's gonna be there.
I'm gonna go for Nick Larson. The second one's always easier than the first. Um,
Nick, Rob does not have good luck when he picks his teammates. So I'm like, you know this. There's
That's right. I'm just gonna prove it right.
there we go. I love it. Nick, your confidence. If we were picking championship favorites right now, I would vault you up there now. Like for the longest time, it seemed like this was like Count Tony and Pogo, and like, man, the confidence you've like come in here and like now, like Rob said, you got that first win off your back. Like it gets way easier after that. Like I think, I think when I first joined 802, I don't want to sound too cocky, but I'm pretty sure it was my first or second race that I locked into a win by doing the same kind of the same thing Scott did. It was just a fuel saving race, and yeah, once you get that first win, I mean, I wasn't full time in the series at that point, but you just feel so much more relaxed that next week. Like, while you don't always put that pressure on because you want to win every week, it's just like
Yeah. Yep.
knowing you have it, like you are more relaxed.
Yeah. You know, outside of champ, like in the playoffs, I think that Grant Humphrey, I think he could be a,
Yep, that's a
I,
good
a
pick
good,
too.
I,
a good
I
pick.
Yeah.
almost went with Grant,
I'm not.
and
He's not even on my radar because I
so
wasn't even. I'm just looking at like guys that are up higher in points. Like that's. I forget we got these new guys that have come in that have been really fast. Also, like Chris was fast.
yeah, I think Chris will.
Nate and that
Chris
other guy were fast.
Chris may be back this week. I'll tell you there is going to be another Humphrey in the field this week, as far as I understand, and that's Grant's twin brother, Tyler. So I
Oh,
believe Tyler's
Yeah, I
coming
saw
over.
that he joined. Yep.
Tyler's coming over, going to come over and race. And there's some other guys out there that want to come race, but they hate it when people go into leagues they've been in during the playoffs and race. And even though I've told everyone that says that to me, I'm like, hey, don't let that worry. We want more cars. We're not that league that says don't come in here. We're having our playoffs. As long as you race clean and not cause cautions and not wreck guys battling for the points. We want all the cars we can get. It makes it a better race. So
Yeah, like my opinion on that is like if you're, it almost worries me more that you're like hesitant to like show up. Like if you're that confident in your racecraft and ability, you should have no worry of just hopping in a race with guys that are in the playoffs. Like I get it. You don't want to be that guy, but have a little confidence in yourself and know that, we're a good clean league and if you feel up to that, like you can start racing this weekend. Like Rob said, more cars the better.
what
right.
I
Yeah. And the quality of drivers that have been coming in too
Yeah.
they're good. I mean, nice, clean racers, and
Yeah, I don't think we've had like throughout this whole season anybody that knew that's come in. I can't think of anything that's been like a reoccurring issue.
no.
I mean, well, there was one, but like that got dealt with.
Yeah. I'll say this: everyone that's coming this year, they leave their egos at the door if they have one. And I don't think any of them do. you watch other leagues, you know, and we all go through YouTube and Twitch and Rumble and TikTok and watch other league races. You know, there's hundreds of them out there. We've all probably watched 30 or 40 of them, and 80% of the wrecks out there are caused by egos. Someone won't give up a position when someone else is faster, or hey, I'm not going to show you the respect. I don't have position, but I'm still going to dive it in there. Um, I said it after the race in our drivers meeting Sunday night. There is so much give and take and mutual respect in this league, and lack of ego-driven racing. That's why we can go to a Dover and have a caution-free race. Go to Gateway, have a caution-free. Go to Michigan, caution-free. I know we had at least one other caution-free race this season earlier in the year. It might have been two. There ain't a whole lot of leagues out there that can go and knock out multiple caution-free races in a season. And over the last three
not only
seasons, we've
that,
done
like,
it a few times.
yeah, not only that, like when we do have cautions, they're not caution fests. Like we're
No.
not. We have, I think at most we've had maybe like 3 races tops that have been over 3 cautions.
Yeah.
So.
And one
Yeah.
of them is a place you wouldn't expect was
It's
Chicagoland.
racing. It's race. Yeah,
And
it's racing.
Chicagoland is
Eventually,
because, for whatever reason, it was so loose. It was loosey goosey off turn 4, and most of them were caused by self spins.
yeah. Also, that's what I was just gonna say. I'd say most of the cautions that I've tracked throughout the year are self spins. Like you go to Wilkesboro, I think I'm just gonna throw out a number. We had 15 cautions. I'd say 10 of them were self spins.
Yep.
Like the majority of the cautions have been just people busting their own ass, and it happens. So.
And
Yeah.
half
Yeah,
of them is someone choosing to bust their own ass and spin themselves out instead of taking someone else
Exactly.
out.
Yep.
And that
Yeah.
goes back to the
Yeah.
respect for others that I was talking about. You know, guys will wreck themselves before they wreck someone else. Okay, Nick, we're gonna wrap this up. It's 8:17, and we still have to do the Busch results from last week. But I want to thank you for coming on the podcast tonight. I want to congratulate you again on your win. Um, and personally, I just want to thank you for being a great teammate. You know, you lift me up when I'm down. You've lifted all of us up. You've gone out and practiced when we're at work and figured stuff out and shared it with us, and we share stuff with you. And it's just, I really enjoy hopping on after a long day's work and practicing with you guys.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way, Rob. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah,
get you
I'm
back
glad you
on
could
again
come on.
sometime. You're gonna
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
win another one before it's over.
Yeah, next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Calling the shots, like people talk to him here in about 4 weeks with the confidence he's going. He's gonna be
Wow.
winning this championship. We'll talk to him then too.
Nick, did you change your pick for the win with that comment? It sounds like you changed your pick. Sounds like you took me off the board and put your own name up there. So I think we got two picks for Nick and your pick for Simley there, Brandon.
Hey Nick, I wouldn't mind if you went back to back and just started. You could win the rest of the season. Do it.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. So
I would too.
yeah, it's just one of those guys that you root for, no matter what. Like I've done some paints for you, and just yeah, you're
Yeah, I
one
appreciate
of the
it.
great guys to have in the league. So I love racing against you. We have some of the best battles.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I'll say, like when we were racing at Michigan, I was a couple laps down. I felt bad racing you as hard as I did, but I was like, man, I'm having too much fun. I don't want to just let them like go by. Like we're racing door to door. We're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, again, thanks for coming on, and yeah, hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully
we'll
talk to
catch
you
you
a few more
Sunday.
times.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds
And
good.
I'm sure I'll talk to you before Sunday, Nick. We'll get on and
Yep.
do some laps. We won't give away who was running where, but we gotta flip lanes and see how it turns out.
Yeah. Yep.
Have a good one, bud.
You too. Thanks.
That's Nick Larson, driver of the number 2 car on the 02 Winston Cup Series for Wolfpack Racing, and our newest winner on the series. Such a great guy, Brandon. He's
Yeah,
it's awesome to have him on the team, and man, I was racing for points there, but I was more interested to see where he ended up, you know. So
Yeah, it's one of those guys. Like I said, you root for him.
yep,
So, but yeah, we got 10 minutes, so we're gonna crunch
yep.
through this Busch results.
I got the top five up if you want to run through them, and I'll get up the
Yep.
points.
So points leader Logan Kogar comes away with a pole and a win, and he just starting to stretch out that points lead here a little bit. And yeah, just he was the dominant car on the night. 85 laps led out of the 112. So Logan picks up, I believe, his second career win. Right behind him was Steve Ritter. In third place was Jim Ott. Fourth was Joe Hudson, and rounding out the top five was Kevin Stone.
Yeah, it was a fun race last week. These cars these cars drove totally different than the Cup cars at Gateway, and a totally different line.
Yeah, just a yeah, two totally different races, which I get like most of the time they are kind of totally different, but like this was far dramatically way different compared to any other weekend that we've had. And
Yeah, like
yeah,
it seemed like the line for the Bush car was right around the bottom. Just roll the bottom, keep it, um, keep it down the bottom. That's where Steve was running. Logan was kind of running down there. Jim was down there. In the Cup car, you kind of drove it in that. At least I know Nick and I did. And like and other guys were, you kind of drive it into that second groove, the bottom of the second groove, just on that seam, downshift to third, let it kind of diamond a little bit, and then drive down back down up the corner, out of the corner. It's one of those tracks where if you ran on Friday night, it didn't really translate over to Sunday. I didn't feel like.
yeah, no. If anything, it threw me off more. I mean, I don't like Gateway. It's just one of those tracks. There's always a couple tracks that not everybody likes, but I'm still gonna at least show up even though if I hit the track or not.
It's hard to argue with a track though that throws off no cautions, and I think last season there might have been two cautions. So it races difficult, but it does put off some decent racing. So I don't know. I know it's not everyone's favorite, and it's we had a poll on which track drop off the schedule, probably between that and North Wilkesboro, they'd be really close together. Gonna bring up the points here. Like you said, Logan Kogar is he's out to a 35 point lead over Dustin Coggin. Brandon, you sit 58 back. Steve Ritter is in fourth. He's 80 points back. Johnny Barker rounds out the top five. He's 125 points back, and then we'll just run through the rest of the field. Jorge Ledesma Jr. is sixth. Ron Holyfield is seventh. Cody Gibson is back to eighth. Bryce Anderson is ninth, and I'm sitting in 10th place. Um, Tonight we go
Yeah.
to Homestead, Miami with these cars. I have not turned a lap there, and good time to pop it on you, Brandon. I hope you're racing tonight. Are you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be
Okay,
there.
good, because you will be admin in it because I am going to bed. I have been up since midnight, and I have barely been able to stay awake during this podcast. So there's no way I'm able to
Yeah,
stay awake till 11, 11:30.
yeah. I'll be there, and yeah, should be a fun track. I mean, Homestead's always fun. It don't matter what I race it in. So see what can happen.
Picks real
But
quick for Homestead.
if I had to pick, I don't know who's gonna show up. Let's go. No, let's go Frank. I know Frank will be there.
Um,
So
I know who I want to pick, but I can't.
yeah, I wanted to pick one of your teammates, but I didn't want to do it to him either.
Um,
Geez, Johnny only has one. Yeah, Johnny needs to get a win. He only got one podium in the Busch Series too. It just seems like top five in points. I just feel like there'd be more, but
yeah, where were we that? We were, was it North Wilkesboro? Yeah, North Wilkesboro, the Bush car, he had the lead in a late caution. I think got him right. Um,
yeah, something like yeah. He's just
uh,
snake bitten.
yeah, Johnny will be good tonight. I think Steve Ritter will be really, really good. Steve is really good on the bottom, and I feel like this is going to go long green flag runs. I think Steve's really good at saving tires. With that said, I'm gonna pick Johnny Barker. Just because I've jinxed Steve so many times, I refuse to do it again. You know, I'm not gonna jinx. I'm not gonna jinx Johnny. You know, I'm going for the easy layup. If he shows up, Mike Kelly.
Yeah.
There.
That's the other one. You know, that's the other one I was thinking about.
There. But yeah, so yeah, kind of touch base on. Steve's on all new equipment this week. He's on his pair of hydraulic pedals, and he's on a Evo Pro, Cinemagic Evo Pro wheels. So, good luck to those guys tonight, and good luck to you, Brandon, and the rest of the guys. And I'll probably have the broadcast on as I'm falling asleep, but
yeah,
there's no way I can race. So, and then so we had the ARCA. We didn't have an ARCA race last week. We had a fun race. Steve Ritter won that at Thompson. It was a blast, and what we're going to do is we're going to re-rack it. We're actually going to run Thompson tomorrow morning for points. We've pushed it back to 10 a.m. So 9 a.m. practice, 10 a.m. start time, and we're going to go 60 laps there, and going to make it green flag only laps count. So we're going to go old school short track Saturday night racing with the ARCA Series tomorrow. Are you ever going to make a start in the ARCA Series, Brandon?
I'm trying. We're trying to swing it, but tomorrow will not be one of those days that I try to swing it. But
and then next week's show, we're gonna do our darndest to get John Ross on here. John's gonna be the Grand Marshal for the throwback race in Atlanta. Race 1 of the championship round for the playoffs, and man, after this week we only got three weeks left. Doesn't seem possible, does it?
Yeah, season flew by. I mean, I was just thinking that last week when the dirt season ended. I was like, man, it's crazy how quickly the season has come to an end after. But yeah,
we are gonna have we're gonna have a big announcement. Wednesday the 8th at noon. It'll be coming out on our Discord and our Facebook page. We're going to be announcing something new and exciting for the league. So stay tuned for that. Won't say any more than that right now, but if you do a little snooping on the Discord, you might be able to get some hints. So with that, Brandon, I'm going to wish you a good night, and we will get our series sponsors commercial up, and we will get out of here.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
And of course, nothing's working for me right now.
My father, Gardner Stone, has grown our dealership with one thing in mind: to treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, the way you buy a vehicle now is everything is ordered, so customers have to pick where they want to buy a vehicle. The people coming back for their second, their third, their fourth, their fifth vehicle, it's a good relationship, but that tells you that they know that we're going to take care of them. At G.Stone Motors, we just don't make customers, we make long-lasting friends, and I think that separates us.
G.Stone